Alright, good day everyone. It's my pleasure to have you in our channel today. So for those who are just coming across our video today, this Fish College YouTube channel, and this is an educative channel where you learn fish farming skills. And then we don't just train people to know, we train them to use it to make money. So at the course of our training, we expose business opportunity. Alright, before we move to the business of the day, my name is FSH. I'm a graduate of FSH University and also a member of Fishery Society of Nigeria. So my core vision is to see how to promote fish farming in Nigeria, in Africa, and in the world at large. So before we move to the real business, I want you to watch this video and see. So we actually have a lot of products that we sell both fingerling, juvenile, and we also run online training for those who have interest. You can be mentored to be very good in this business, and we encourage you to try to register. All right, thank you. So today what we have before us is FSH 003. Yeah, 003. So that's what we have, and I encourage you to try everything you can to get this material. The e-copy is available. Once you make your payment, we'll send it across to you, just 10,000 naira. So once you make your payment, we'll send it across to you. You can read it and be well updated with what we are doing. So we want to look at in our FSH 001, we look at the basic things you need to know before investing in fish farming. And in the second episode, which is FSH 002, we look at fish pond and the various type of fish pond. So today we are going to be looking at water quality management, type of water source that can be used for fish farming, and water quality management. So before you venture into this business, remember I talk about water as being one of the major things you need to consider before you invest into fish farming. So now I promise you that we're going to take time to discuss water in full detail so that you can have a better understanding. So water remains one of the paramount things that is actually needed for fish farming business to be successful. Now we have different sources of water. We have river water, we have stream water, then we have well. It could be borehole, it could be a well that you just drill. So anywhere you can get good water, you can use the water to train fish. Then secondly, what we look at is the quantity of the water. The quantity of the water have a long way to this help you know the volume which you are going to train. For example, now you cannot just depend on this local well that they normally use hand to fish to train 10,000 fish. No, that's not possible. Likewise, if you want to train fish in large quantity, you want to install borehole. Training in large quantity actually demand large volume of water. So like for those who really want to do it big, why it's good for you to have all this in mind is it will guide you properly while investing. That's why I do tell people to consider a lot of factors before you can venture into the business. So you need to ask yourself, what number of fish do I want to raise? Is it 1,000? Is it 2,000? Is it 5,000? Is it 10,000? Is it 20,000? And listen very, very well. There are farms that we develop farms. So there are farms that want to be harvesting 5,000 every month capacity. So if you are programming your farm to be harvesting 5,000 every month, that means you should bear in mind that you are going to create a cycle of maybe 6-month interval, whereby as you are selling off, you have another batch that is coming. Then while changing water, Why changing water? Bear in mind that you are going to be changing water. Let me just say you have that 5,000 into 6 places. That's how many? Six. That's 30,000. That means you should imagine the volume of water you will be changing at a time. Because one thing about this business is that when you start training your fish, especially from the fingerling to juvenile to jumbo level, the changing of water will not be all that much. But as soon as they get to 500 grams, from 500 grams upward, there is need for you to be changing the water, if possible twice a day, because as they are eating they are defecating. Now if you don't flush away their waste, that is where you be having problem. Are you getting what I'm saying? So you will need to put a lot in consideration concerning your water. That's why I do tell some people that it's more good for you to site your farm in areas that you know that is loaded with water. You can even mount this submersible pump, this surface pump, and it will be giving you very high volume of water. So even if it is borehole that you still put, you can sink a very big borehole there. As once you have access to water, it will be giving you good volume of water with pressure. Do you get? So now for like most people used to buy borehole, because not everyone have land that is close to the river. And even if you have land that is close to the river, one of the disadvantage of using water from the river, which cause me not to encourage people to do, is when you are pumping water from the river, there is high possibility of you introducing bacteria and parasites into your pond. Do you get what I'm saying? And there's high possibility once you are collecting water from the river, and if for example now they introduce chemical into the river where all these effluents and the sewage and the rest of them, it's very possible that it can be channeled into your pond, that it can cause havoc. So it's good for you to sink a well. And when you sink a well, through the biological filtration, you can get ideal water that is okay. I believe what I am saying is good enough for you. So for those who are starting, like the core members and other youths that are starting this business, you can start with 100 pieces of fish. Okay. Then for those that have money, you can start with 1,000. You can start with 10,000, depending on capacity. So if you want to start with 100 pieces, you may not need to sink a borehole. You can even use hand and be fetching water from your well, and you want to start with actually need 10 pieces. If you want to start with 10 pieces, these 10 pieces now you can be draining water. You can have your bowl, your drum, or your pond and the outlet. You can put in water, discharge. Like this is the minimum I normally give to those who say they don't have money. And those who have money to some extent, you can still, you want to trend between 100 to 1,000. You actually need to have a borehole. Okay, you actually need to have a borehole. Or if it is a well that you want to use, that means you need to have an overhead tank. You need to have an overhead tank that you will need to store in water in the storage tank, or you need to have a reservoir. That overhead tank like as a reservoir, or you have a way of having a reservoir somewhere that will help you. The importance of having a reservoir is, for example, now if there is power failure and there is emergency, you just have to get water from your reservoir and do your work. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's good for you to take cognizance of the size of borehole to use. We have 1 horsepower, we have 2 horsepower, we have 3 horsepower, we have 5 horsepower, we have 7.5, we have and so on and so forth. Okay. So among all this horsepower, now before you will install this borehole, I do counsel people that if you can, try to buy solar borehole. And in case you need it and you don't know how to get it, I partner with a company to supply good one that have been tested and reliable. If I'm watching my video, you will see us displaying them. Okay, so well, let me just throw some light about the borehole now. For the borehole, we have different types of borehole. We have the one that make use of DC. This DC is direct sunlight. So this DC only work during the day. Anything from 7 o'clock down, it will stop working. Then we'll have the one that use DC and AC. This DC and AC now, if for example now you have generator or you are living in a place where there is light, at night you can fall back to the AC. You have a switch, you can just switch over to AC. That means that bulb will have the capability, the small pump have the capability to work during the day with solar light. Then at night you can just switch over to alternating current, to NEPA light or generator, and you still be working for you. So I do encourage people to consider this particular one depending on your financial capability. But if you are living in an area where you cannot have access to NEPA light, but if you have generator here, you don't have generator, you can use DC. Okay, so all these things you just have to look at them closely, to know the suitable one that you make use of. Exactly. So if you have any question regarding water quantity, please you can ask. But one thing I want to say about this about water before we move in. Okay, let me talk about. Okay, before we move into water quality management, ensure that you have a good reliable source of water before you can invest in fish farming. I've seen people who, when you get to the farm, they'll be pumping water from morning till night. Imagine the cost. Okay, so there are a lot of things that you just need to consider. So let us look at water quality management. Now, I keep advising people that fish does not easily fall sick. But one of the major problem of fish is once there is drop in the water quality, the fish begin to have problem. And what are the basic water quality that we need to consider? Number one here is temperature. Fish are adversely affected by temperature. And how does it affect them? When the weather is too cold, it makes them not to eat. In the hatchery, it's one of the major causes of high mortality rate in the hatchery. The more the table size, you see that their feeding rate will drop. Okay, so you just need to bear that in mind. But for the if you are doing if you are raising table size, it doesn't have terrible effect. All you just need to do is you need to monitor when the temperature have come up, and that is the best time to give them food. But if you are hatching fish, you need to actually try everything you can to control the temperature. Then one that is very much important is water pH. Water pH affect all size of fish. So you need to try your possible best to make sure that your water is falling within the range. And how do you do that? Try your best to get kits. Okay, have kits that you can use to check your water pH. It's very good for you to always check your water pH at least once in a week. It's good for you to take it once or twice in a week. That will help you to understand what you are doing. Okay, once the pH is okay, you see your fish, they'll be doing so well, they'll be eating well, they'll be swimming well, they won't give you problem. But if your water is acidic, sometimes when you buy fingerling, they will just swim down, they will die. You see their fin will be burning, you see their bottom will be burning. Do you get? So another point we look at is ammonia. What is ammonia? Ammonia is formed from waste feed. Like when the fish, when you overfeed them, the one that they could not pick will now cause pollution beneath the water. Then when they defecate, their poo also increase ammonia level. How do you control that? Is ammonia control is very, very simple. So for you to control ammonia, all you just need to do is to ensure that you discharge the water. Okay, you discharge the water. It's advisable for you to flush your water morning and evening. And the reason why it's good for you to do it in the morning is that at night they will defecate. Evening time they will also defecate between that morning and evening. So it will help to immune your fish from having infection. When you fail to change your water as well, there's something I wrote here which I would like you to take note of. And I wrote that fish can survive a long time without food. But once the water quality drops, it can result to fish kill. And the quality and quantity of your water has much to do with the survival and growth of your fish. So if as far as in as much as you are giving your fish good water volume for them to swim very well and grow very well, you have to ensure that you monitor the water quality to ensure that it is up to what they need. So try your best to work with, you know, good experts. You can as well be doing research on your own to enable you to be good. So what are the signs that you can see to know that the water is bad? Number one is formation of bubbles. When you come and you see bubbles on top of your pond, it means that the water is getting bad. When you see that the whole pond is so green with bubbles, you cannot even see your fish well. That is what we call algae bloom. It's very, very terrible. You have to do something before something will do your fish. When you come and you start to do like this, this water is bad, it's smelling, or somebody say it's smelling, that's ammonia telling you to change your water. Okay, so do not wait until your fish tell you that the water is bad by dying before you do something about it. Try your possible best to, have some simple kits that you will use to monitor it. By so doing, you will not be spending money for medication. You will not be calling somebody, hey, come and check my fish, my fish are dying. No. So once you are giving your fish the right water, I was counseling somebody today with the very day I did this video. I was telling the person that was asking about drug. I said I don't too depend on drugs. The highest drug I can use is salt. Okay, is salt. So if you are monitoring your water very, very well, your fish will not easily conflict. But if you fail to give your fish what they need, and part of the reason is because of some people, when they change the cost of changing water, they'll be tired. They will now be managing water for 5 days, for 1 week before they change it. It's very bad. So that's why I said, do your best to, there's a video I'm going to play for you. In that farm, you don't bank well. I'm so happy and grateful that they every listening to us. We ensure that we install solar pumps there. And with that solar pump, we can change water from morning till in fact the solar pump works from 7 o'clock to 5:30 to 6 o'clock, and it works very well. Even when it is raining and sun is shining, it's still working. And everybody is happy because ever since we started in the farm, we have not bought even a liter of fuel or diesel. And this farm is so big. So I do tell people that don't be too anxious. Sit down, do your calculation, gradually get the basic things that you need before you move on. So that you will not come and, when this business now, the funniest thing about fish farming is that you will not come to a point where you need to be changing the water in all your pond per day, every day. So if you don't have a reliable or economical way of managing your farm, you will see that maybe a day you may be spending up to 50,000 for fuel or diesel. Now multiply that 50,000 by 30. That's not a little money. Then multiply it by 4 months. You see that money is enough to pay many of your workers. So my counsel for you is take time. If you're a farmer and you're watching this video, take time and run calculation how much I have spent in buying fuel or diesel from January to December. Calculate it and tell me. When you tell me the amount, I will tell you the capacity of solar pump that you can use that money and buy. You get, I will give you the cost and the size of the solar pump that you can use that money and buy. Because people are actually putting for fish farming. And why are they putting for fish farming? Now many people want to sell fish very very cost because of they spend much in the management, but there are simple things that you can actually do to cut down the cost. So when you do that, you see that if people are selling 1 kg for 4,000, you can sell at 2,000 something and you will not be feeling bad. But for example now, you now check only the cost of logistics in buying fuel is around 1 million naira, and you need to get this money back. Maybe it is even loan that you use to running the farm, by all means. And looking at it, if you sell your fish what other people are selling, you will run at loss. What will you now do? You will now see that you will not have the courage to encourage other people to venture into this business. So that's why I do tell people, before you venture into this business, sit down and learn. Okay, sit down and learn. So I believe that you have learned one or two things in this video. So please, if you have question, drop your question on the comment section. And if you have not registered for our online training, we encourage you to register. Thank you so much, and do your best to join us in the next episode. We will be discussing about the type of fish that are being cultured or that can be cultured in Nigeria, in Africa, and why is it that majority of us in Nigeria precisely focus on catfish. So many people have been asking me that question, and why is it that people are not training tilapia and not training scombia and the rest of them? Why is it that it's just catfish? So in our next episode, we're going to learn that. Thank you, and God will continue to bless every one of us in Jesus' name. Thank you, guys.
Knowledge is power, and we give you more. Aquaculture tools right at your door. From training to farming, we light your way. Agricultural success starts today. Don't give up, don't let go. Plant the seed and let it grow. Together we change the story. Farming life, a path to glory. Fish college, catch your dreams. Success is closer than it seems. Learn the skills, take the lead. Feed the nation, meet the need. Fish college, yes we can. Empower farmers across the land. Don't give up, don't let go. Plant the seed and let it grow. Together we change the story. Farming life, a path to glory.